Welcome to Val's Sweet Kitchen. Subscriber Sam Reedman requested something historical. So I dove into my recipe books, went back 100 years, and we're dialing it back to applesauce cupcakes. Yes, that's right around the time when cupcakes were invented. Along with this brown sugar icing, so delicious. So preheat your oven to 350 degrees and let's go have some fun. Start with the pans. I always like to line my pans with a little bit of rice. Woohoo! So now put all the dry ingredients together. 2 cups of cake flour and a whole bunch of spices. A half a teaspoon of allspice, a teaspoon of nutmeg, a teaspoon of cloves, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. Mix that all in there. A teaspoon of baking soda, and a half a teaspoon of baking powder, and a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. And sift this all together. That'll get out all the big chunks and crumbs and add a little air. I can smell this already. Let me just help those in there. All right, we're going to set this aside and cream our butter and sugar. Now, cream together 1 cup of sugar and half a cup of butter. Everything's always at room temperature. That way, it emulsifies all together in the right way. And I always pulse it to get it started. Otherwise, the paddle can hit the sugar at the wrong angle and make it all over the place. Look how nice and light and fluffy it is. After 3 minutes, you want to give it a good scrape down just to make sure there's no chunks of butter hiding in the end of the bowl, in the bottom, right there. And crack 1 egg in. And give it 1 last scrape down. Now we're ready to alternate in between our dry and our wet ingredients. 1 1/3 cup of applesauce. No milk here. And then we're going to fold in 1 cup of dried figs or raisins if you like. And you always go in thirds. Start with the dry and end with the dry when we do the creaming method, which is what we're doing today. Make sure you scrape down the bowl and get it fully incorporated. Whenever you're working with cake, you always want to mix it as little as possible because you don't want gluten to form. Gluten's for bread, not for cakes. And then just fill each cup 3/4 of the way. And I use a scoop because it helps push the batter out. And I'm a little bit neater that way. And then bake for 20 to 25 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. You've probably heard of boiled icing. This is it. And it goes back more than 100 years. And we're going to do it with brown sugar today. We're going to start with the egg whites. You just take 3 egg whites, and I always separate them outside of the bowl. That way, if the yolk's going to burst, it's going to burst in here and not in there. And then to a heavy bottom saucepan, add 2 1/2 cups of packed brown sugar. Pack it in there. And 3/4 of a cup of water. And you want to bring this up to 236 to 240 degrees. All right, it's not recognizing my pan, so I'm going to have to change it out. There we go. There. It likes that one. And at the same time, whisk your egg whites to stiff, foamy peaks. That's an important step. On medium speed, you'll get smaller bubbles and a smaller foam and a better icing. We are almost there. Be careful because it's going to increase in volume. Make sure you've got room in your pot. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 239, here we go. Make sure that is. And what we're going to do, yeah. While that's on high speed, the important part here is to carefully drizzle the sugar mixture in between the whisk and the bowl side. Careful not to touch either of them. You want to get it right in that trowel that the whisk is making. Otherwise, the sugar can solidify and you'll have lumps in your frost icing. And you're going to whisk it on high speed for about 10 minutes and you'll get stiff peaks. See, that's the mountain peak. And it's ready. I love piping. Now, if you're making Italian meringue buttercream, all you gotta do is add your butter to this. But it wasn't invented yet. Drizzle it with some caramel. Recipe right here. And it's good to go. This is fabulous. This is really good. Anyway, I hope you had fun today. If you did, give it a like, thumbs up, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Boot that bell. This is so good.